Record on this computer. We are recording. Awesome! Welcome everybody to the third episode of the Vulpecula. Welcome. My name is Commodore James. This episode was written from two sources. One by Tracy Torme from an episode called Haven. The second is Cause and Effect, written by Brandon Braga and adapted by me for this series. Our cast this evening will be Elhorn, is played by Coleman Sensei, Exousia, Shannon Marsh, Starthorn, Billy Reed, Voras, Bennett Cousins, Heshti, Antoinette Senator, Zenori, Rachel Bieber, Shepard, Josh Biscara, Frostwind, Kurt Johnson, Ezekiel, Mitchell Walther, Anton, Matt Waite, Amara, Rachel Bieber again, Carnum, Mitchell Walther, Medici, Matt Waite, Gonzagaliano, wait, did I say that right? Gonzagalino, that's Antoinette again, and Marcello is Joshua Biscara. I think I got all those. Thank you all for doing double duty. So we shall begin. The Vulpecula sails on the open ocean as the last drop of sunlight falls below the horizon. Shepard writes in his journal.
Over the past few weeks, the Vulpecula has been sailing towards the island of Dace. Our duties have been light, and we find ourselves with an abundance of free time, some of which has been spent playing cards.
Interior Vulpecula, galley, evening. Exousia, Starthorn, Voras, and Zenori sit at the long table.
I wouldn't expect a Fae to be so adept at games of chance.
I'm from Paradox. I was raised on chance.
It's a wonder Paradox has survived. It is a land of anarchy.
That is not wholly accurate. There is a natural law that makes any act of violence impossible and provides swift punishment for oath breakers.
Still, I do not trust a place that cannot be drawn on any map.
Starthorn deals the cards.
An 8, an ace, a queen. The dealer gets a 4.
Pass.
A 10, a 7, a queen for the dragon lady, and I get a 9.
I'll bet 10.
Starthorn deals again.
Jack, 4, 2, 6.
20.
And I'll raise you 50.
50?
Voras grumbles and tosses in her bet.
I'm in.
As am I. 7, Jack, 8, and 9.
20.
I'll cut my losses.
I'll see your 20, and I'll raise you 100.
Fold.
And 200 more.
2. And another 3.
Hubris.
We're about to find out.
Zenori drops coins on the table, matching the bet.
Show and tell.
Take it. How did you know I was bluffing?
There's not a lot that slips by these emerald eyes.
With a magical pop, a letter appears in front of Starthorn and falls onto the table.
A letter for you, Starthorn.
Hate the way these just appear right in front of your face.
Starthorn opens the letter.
What does it say?
It appears the promise has come due. I'm getting married.
Interior captain's cabin, evening.
Married?
Yes, sir. In the first month of my departure from Paradox, I entered a card game in Cole. I had a hand I thought was unbeatable, so I wagered, as a joke, that if I lost, I would marry the ugliest girl in town. I lost. They took my money and sent me on my way. I thought the matter was over, but now they want me to make good on the wager, and I am oath-bound to do so.
What more does the letter say?
They say I'm to go to Cole as soon as possible.
Who are they?
Him, Anton Blackmore, a degenerate swindler.
Am I to lose my second mate when we have just begun our journey?
I don't know details, but I must go to Cole.
I do not like having orders dictated to me on my own ship.
Sir, this is a request. But understand, I must go. There is nothing more sacred to the Fae than keeping our word.
And what of your word to serve this ship?
I did not realize Anton took my words seriously, but since he has, my previous oath supersedes the one I've made on the Vulpecula.
And what if I maintain course to Dace?
The moment our course begins to take us away from Cole, I will have to jump ship and swim.
And die at sea?
And die attempting to keep my word.
Seeing that the shipment of wine we are to obtain in Dace will not suffer much from our tardiness, we'll alter course to Cole. But I trust this will be the last unexpected oath.
Yes, sir.
Shepard writes in his journal.
Sorry. We sailed into Cole last night and docked this morning. I've never seen a port of this size. There must be at least 36 ships. The captain allowed Starthorn to go into town for personal business and ordered Voras to escort him. The remaining crew must stay on board so we may depart as soon as possible.
Exterior Cole day. Cole is a busy port town with many merchants and sailors walking about.
Mr. Voras, have you ever been to Cole?
Yes, it is as chaotic as I imagine Paradox to be.
Murder, theft, fraud, forgery, treason, vandalism, and that's just the clergy. That was a joke.
We'll see.
Don't mention our next port. Cole and Dace don't get along.
Where are we to meet your bride?
Where all business is conducted in Cole, the tavern. Maybe we can find you a mate too.
All but demon males are too fragile for me.
You know, if anyone else were to say that, I'd accuse them of bragging.
Interior tavern. Cole. As the crew enter, a man with loose-fitting clothes and worn leather boots approaches with a disingenuous smile.
Foghorn, I knew you'd come.
Anton Blackmore, you knew I would because Fae do not break oaths, no matter how ridiculous.
Who's your pet?
Voras roars and picks up Anton by the clothes on his chest.
Ugh! This is me showing restraint. Call me a pet again, and you will see me unleashed.
All right, Voras, you can put the human down.
Voras puts Anton down.
Let's settle our oath. The ship is waiting for me.
All right, Foghorn, don't get your wings in a twist. You lost a bet and promised to marry the ugliest girl in town.
I meant that as a joke.
A few weeks ago, I married an old broad with beautiful stacks of gold and an equally ugly daughter. After my dear wife had a nasty fall down the stairs, I found out that her money is locked away until her brat marries. I started to get very worried about how unsafe those stairs are for my stepdaughter when I remembered sweet little Foghorn owed me.
Are a coward.
I am a man with a winning hand. Amara,
Amara enters.
meet your new husband.
I'm Amara.
Badger Sarthorn.
Badger. Why, Foghorn, I had no idea.
Badger. I thought
What?
nothing.
Well, isn't this sweet? You two will have plenty of time to make doe eyes at each other until the justice of the peace returns in a few days.
A few days? Anton, I told you a ship is waiting for me right now.
Fine. In Cole, there are plenty of captains walking around who can do the job. Go find one.
Fae can only be married under a full moon.
What?
You can read about it in the library.
When is the next full moon?
10 days.
Go. but I expect her to be married in 10 days. And take her with you. It'll keep her out of my hair.
The three exit. Exterior Cole, day.
Why do Fae only wed under a full moon?
They don't. I was laughing. But Cole doesn't have a library, and anyway, Anton can't read.
Amara
Let's
laughs.
get back to the ship.
Shepard makes another journal entry.
Starthorn returned to the ship with his betrothed Amara. She's a quiet woman, but I wouldn't call her shy. She has bold eyes that don't look away when they meet another's. She moves confidently about the ship and, during the past few days, has been assisting Heshti with her duties.
Exterior Vulpecula, day.
Then you pull on the two ends, and that's how you tie a slip knot. Be careful when you release it to let go of the working end, or when the load drops, it'll burn your hand.
Why not use a highwayman's hitch? It works the same way, but the rope doesn't go entirely round the load. It will release without pulling away.
Show me.
Starthorn walks up.
Heshti, you showing Amara the ropes?
More like she's showing me.
Oh?
I grew up around ships. When the other girls were tying bows, I was tying loops, bends, and bindings.
Heshti, would you excuse us?
Yes, sir.
Heshti exits.
You seem to have made yourself comfortable on the ship.
It's not hard on a ship this size.
Good. I wanted you to be at ease before we talked about...
Our forced marriage? If not you, it was going to be someone. My mother that I be wed. She was so set on the idea, she locked away my inheritance until my wedding day. Don't worry, I'm not going to hold you to it. Once we are wed and I have the account, we can go our separate ways.
I can't do that.
Why not?
I gave an oath to marry you. That means forever.
I admire how strongly you stick to your values, but I don't see that happening.
Do you not find me acceptable?
You're a fine Fae, Badger, but you're not.
Not what?
You're not him.
Who?
Marcello.
Who is Marcello?
Oh, I don't know. All my life I've had this image of a man named Marcello in my head. At first, I thought he was an imaginary friend, but as I grew, he felt more real. I've tried to put him out of my mind, but I can't let him go. Every decision I've ever made has been with him in mind. I've grown into a woman who would stand by him. I feel compelled to find him as much as you are committed to your oath.
This puts me in a difficult position. I must marry you in a few days.
And I cannot allow you to do so.
Days later, Shepard makes an entry.
Today we arrived at the island of Dace. I've always wanted to visit here. Dace is the largest mercantile force in the world, with trade agreements stretching far across all of Edelrune. With all the money in the world flowing through the city-state, they do not, they do not have to spend time gathering or laboring. Instead, they spend their time on art, fashion, and keeping up appearances. Their only enemy is the poor, and the only crime is a vulgar act that destroys beauty.
Exterior Vulpecula, day.
Men, our invitation to enter Dace comes with some stipulations. We can carry no weapons, and we cannot move about unescorted. The Dacian diplomat will be arriving shortly.
There is one other thing. Dace is often referred to as the Island of Masks. It is a common belief that a sin committed while wearing a mask will be removed once the mask is taken off. It is best not to discuss the masks unless they broach the topic.
Also, they have told me that they prefer we keep our group small. So for this leave, I will be joined only by Exucia, Starthorn, Voras, and Frostwind.
A voice shouts from the dock.
Ahoy, Captain Elhorn. Welcome to Dace. I'm your diplomat, Karnam Kalia.
The crew walks onto the deck. Sorry.
Greetings.
The crew walks onto the dock.
That too. Greetings.
I will escort you to Comptroller Medici for your trade agreement.
Is there a problem? I thought we were picking up some of your wine.
No problem. We were expecting you earlier. Today, Medici is celebrating his son's birthday, and you will need to go to him to finalize your shipment.
Of course. And my apologies for our delay. We had unavoidable business in coal.
My apologies that you would have to spend time in that dirty little town. This way.
They walk.
Dace is the center of Edelrune for art, theater, fashion, sculpture, painting, and music, all of which you can experience at one of our many masquerade balls. When you arrived in port, I assume you saw our merchant ships, but Dace also has the Silver Fleet, the most powerful military fleet in the world. The vessels, plated in silver, reflect the sun, making the surrounding water appear to be on fire during both dawn and dusk.
Isn't it true that Dace was forced to pay reparations for its aggressions against demonkind?
Voras.
No, Captain. She is correct. That part of our history is not one of which we are proud. We hope that our recent actions will restore relations between our two worlds, or at least earn the respect of your kind.
It does.
Here is our beautiful seaside center for the arts. The birthday celebration is in the courtyard. Please wait here so that I may announce you.
Carnum walks away.
I wonder if anyone here has ever done a hard day's work in their lives.
There is value to the arts, but also in the earned rest after a day of labor. I pity the man who only knows one. What do you two think?
It is no wonder they have such a powerful military. The wealth here needs defending.
Astute observation. Frostwind.
Everyone smells like flowers.
Yes.
Carnum announces the crew.
From the merchant ship Vulpecula, registered in Port Frey, Captain Elhorn and the members of his crew.
A large, boisterous man with a white beard, wearing a white tunic with gold trim, approaches.
Captain, welcome. I hope this day finds you well.
Yes, Carnum gave us a good tour. I do apologize for disturbing you during your son's birthday.
Disturbing? Not at all. Come, you and your crew have a seat. Slave, bring food and drink for my newly arrived guests. Carnum, the papers. So, Captain, back in November, I visited Port Frey, where I witnessed a most amusing play by one of our own, Zafiro de Pardosi. One of the players turns out to be the owner of your ship, who wanted to open trade between our ports. And here we are.
You have the advantage. I've never met the owner except through written correspondence.
Here are the papers, sir.
Well, let's get this trade agreement signed and you shall be free to enjoy the party. You will see the owner and I have already signed. We just need your signature saying you shall deliver both goods and payment.
Very well.
Elhorn signs.
Excellent. Please, enjoy the food. I guarantee you'll not find more pleasing cuisine than what our artisan chefs create.
Too bad we didn't bring our chef. He's always looking for new ways to surprise all of us.
Eat, drink, and be merry.
Later, after eating.
So, your society is based upon slavery.
Yes. Without slaves, we would not be afforded the time to study and create. Our art goes throughout the world. We inspire and ignite imaginations. Our effect on Aaron runs both deep and wide. The style of your shirt comes from someone inspired by our tailors. The chanties you sing stem from our musicians. The maps you use to navigate are drawn with techniques we created. Ours is not a selfish pursuit, but one we give freely. Imagine if...
Frostwind releases a robust belch, and the room goes quiet.
Frostwind.
My apologies. The food was very rich.
Captain, what is this?
Forgive my crewman. The Fae are expressive. I shall instruct him later on proper dining etiquette.
No, Captain. That won't do. We have but one rule in this. Commit no vulgar acts.
Certainly, a minor dining error does not constitute a vulgar act.
You sit at my table and dictate our law. You have destroyed the beauty of my son's party. Guards, seize their ship. Do not permit them to leave. Captument.
Medici, that last line. Captain, return to your vessel and await judgment.
Oh, yes, he said that.
Oh, Captain,
sorry.
return
Sorry,
to your vessel and await judgment.
All right, a little lag there. Back on the Vulpecula, Shepard continues his journal.
The crew is back on the ship, having been ordered to stay in place by the Dacian authorities. We've been waiting since yesterday, which leaves Starthorn 2 days to marry Amara, or face the shame of breaking his word.
A voice is heard shouting from the dock. It is Carnum.
Captain Elhorn, prepare to receive the magistrate, Comptroller Medici, and his son.
The group
Captain.
walks aboard.
Captain Elhorn, this is Magistrate Adrina Gonzagalino. Sorry.
Captain,
Magistrate.
who is the offending party?
That's him, the one with the fur on his face.
My name is Dune Frostwind.
Mr. Frostwind, you are accused of committing a vulgar act in the presence of Comptroller Medici, his son, and over 100 guests.
I burped. I said I was sorry.
I have an apparent vulgar act, witnesses, and an omission of guilt. I am ready to pronounce judgment.
Magistrate, we respect your authority in law, but the term vulgar act is an abstract concept that can be interpreted in any number of ways. Who is responsible for informing visitors of your interpretation?
You speak of common sense, Captain. The matter has been settled. Mr. Frostwind shall immediately become a slave to the Medici family for a period of 1 year.
What?
Medici's son speaks up.
Father, is this necessary?
Quiet, Marcello. His offense I cannot overlook.
Marcello? Your name is Marcello?
Yes, and may I have the honor of your name?
Amara.
Father, her name is excuse me. Father, her name is Amara.
Medici changes mood to focus on Amara.
Where are you from, child?
I am from Cole, but I was born.
In Castlethorn.
What is happening here?
My son has spoken of visions and dreams of this girl since he was a child.
And I have had dreamt of you. How is this possible?
Until this moment, I thought it was all a fantasy of a troubled mind. I have taken Marcello to countless healers thinking he had an illness of the mind. He held on to the idea that he was meant for a girl named Amara with such ferocity that nothing I did would sway him.
I too have held on to the idea that I was meant to find Marcello.
But isn't Starthorn bound to marry Amara?
Yes, I am.
Well, then let him.
Frostwind?
But it's obvious, isn't it? The Starthorn is a mage. Magistrate, your laws give mages the authority to conduct weddings, yes?
It does.
Starthorn can marry Amara to Marcello and fulfill his oath.
Yes!
Yes.
My boy, you have finally found a bride. Although it is a bit late, what a wonderful birthday gift from the gods.
Great. If I am to be married today, I have a request.
You have but to ask.
Grant clemency to Frostwind.
Medici, the right is yours.
Captain, reduce your shipment of wine by 2 cases, and I will consider the debt paid.
Take 3. A gift for the new couple.
Then it is settled. Come, my boy, we have a wedding to plan.
The Dacian party exits.
Starthorn, thank you for your kindness. Although you and I were not meant to be, you brought me to my dream. I shall always have fond memories of these few days.
I wish you well, Mara. However, I fear for what may happen to Marcello this evening.
What do you mean?
I've seen how good you are with knots.
Oh! Oh!
Later that night, as the Vulpecula is at sea, Shepard makes a final entry.
With gallons of Dacian wine in our hold, we sailed out of the harbor after attending one of the most beautiful and ornate weddings I've ever witnessed. We all had our fill of Dacian hospitality, except for Frostwind. The captain made him stay on the ship.
Yay! Well done, everyone. For some reason, Starthorn, you sounded like T-Pain the whole time. He just kept-
Yeah.
Was I
Thank
the only one
God.
hearing that?
No,
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 it was not.
No.
Okay.
Thank God it
couldn't
was
hear him
slow. You
either.
were speaking slowly, so we could hear it, but it was like.
Yeah, it was-
Enunciating very well.
Oh no.
It was like a slow-mo version of talking through a fan.
yeah, I mean, I heard
Oh
everything,
my
but it was all
gosh.
very jittery. Oh my gosh.
Shoot.
Well, that's
Well,
still
I do want to invest in a better microphone.
No, it's not the
Hopefully
microphone.
next time.
No, I think it's your
It's-
connection.
It's your
Yeah,
connection.
Usually that's the
Yeah,
the
it's the
internet.
Yeah.
And then before that, we had two cast members
Dang.
suddenly not
Well.
make it to rehearsal, so I felt like one of Tony's lines. What is going on?
2020.
Classic